down to you, to you, Aquarius. So you have the Four of Swords, and then you, Aquarius, have the Six of Cups, and then you also have the Seven of Wands right here for you. Let me move up closer. Anyway, so I'm still dealing with this heat rash. You know what I'm saying? Drinking ice water to calm this heat rash down. But anyway, so for you, you're in a space where what you've got going on is the Four of Swords, the Six of Cups, like I said, and the Seven of Wands. So essentially, what's happening here is that you're dealing, or you are dealing with someone essentially who has come back, who is very delusional. They're delusional. They blame you for the stuff that is happening to them, and what they need to do is essentially they need to take there's nothing there but like they need to take accountability. um they've got their own things going on, and instead of them take accountability and really understand that their own situation is their own, and that they have to kind of really figure it out for them why their life is going like this. And you know what I mean, instead of them choosing to change it, what they're doing is they're basically just looking at you, Aquarius, and blaming you for everything. And obviously that's not really going to be the case, right? That's not really going to work in the real world. And a lot of you, Aquarius, pretty much know this. A lot of you, Aquarius, pretty much know that you won't take them seriously because there's nothing to take them essentially serious about, right? They've got their own thing that they've got going on. And whatever it is that they blame you for, of course it's not your fault. um and so now that you have the Three of Swords, and then the Scorpio energy, like it is that I said before, right? The blaming you for the things that they've chosen for whatever amount of time they've chosen. I'm gonna go ahead and shave, by the way, but blaming you for whatever it is that they've essentially created, right? Like they're in a place where they don't really want to be in that specific place, but at the same time they have to really like figure it out and basically go into themselves and figure out why are they like that, what's going on with them in the first place. And that's just something that they refuse to do. They look at you, Aquarius, like you were the one that was supposed to save them and all of that. And I've talked about this before, about how, like, Aquarius, you know, you're a zodiac sign that can really be kind of taken for one thing, right? Seen as one fifth of a person, two fifths of a person. It's never five fifths, right? It's never a holistic and whole being. It's always like something where they basically look at some aspect of you that they like, and then they basically go in and they say, okay, we're only going to deal with you only from this perspective, right? And so the situation with that is that a lot of you, this is why a lot of you have felt kind of, you felt a lot of you, Aquarius, you felt like a robot, to a certain extent, right? You felt like a robot. You didn't like it. I have Aquarius in my chart, Saturn in Aquarius in the 11th house. And I've experienced that myself. It's like, do these people who I'm trying to get to know, what's up, my love? Do these people who I'm trying to get to know really care about me for real? Or is it that they're just interested in the finances or the brain that I have, or, maybe my body, or whatever the case may be? Like, they can't take the majority of my being, right? The fact that I'm all of those things, right? Have different hobbies and stuff like this. So I definitely understand from that perspective that, like, people can look at you for your body, right? Because I know a lot of Aquarius, beautiful, right? Then the mind, some of them will look at you like you're a come up. You can help them, put them on and everything like that. And then for others of you, this is a situation for you where, a lot of you Aquarius, they looking at it like, you see the heat rash. Wow, right? It's red, whatever. Anyway, so I'll get over it though. You know what I'm saying? I'll get over it. But the point that I'm trying to make here with that is that um, you're in a place where you very much so are essentially doing your thing, like I said before, because you know no one is supposed to save them. No one can save them. They ultimately have to save themselves. And if they don't understand that, then that's their own fault for not really understanding that, they have to really save themselves. And so now you have the Six of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups, right? Because again, like, connection should be a two-way street, right? Like a person who constantly has to only give to one person when the other person is like able-bodied and all of that. It's a parasitic relationship. And a lot of you Aquarius may have taken a back seat in the past for that because you thought it was about not being so personal and not being greedy for the greater good, right? Holding the most high and thinking that, the things that you give up now, you know, trying to give up on instant gratification will benefit you in the future, right? Will benefit not only yourself, but the person whom you're with in the future. But that never came. A lot of you Aquarius understood at some point that it became all about benefiting these people who you're in a relationship with at the time. And so, of course, safe to say that you Aquarius decided to not hang out with them anymore due to the fact that, you realized that you couldn't take them seriously. And so the Six of Pentacles here and the Ten of Cups represents like, again, some of you Aquarius who are in relationships, you have this relationship that, you give and they give back to you, right? And it's a two-way street. And for some of you Aquarius whom you are single, you understand that, you can't just be sitting around doing nothing. And I'm hearing it in the lexicon. I'm hearing it in how a lot of you Aquarius talk to each other and in the comment section, or, even when I talk to y'all, behind the scenes, what I'm saying? And just in moving through, I just may happen to know a person's zodiac sign if they are an Aquarius in a neighborhood or something like this, right? How it is that a lot of you have come to you really have understood what I'm saying here, that relationships are not like you give everything, because that's lame. That's lame. Like, I've been in those types of relationship dynamics myself. That's lame. You feel small. You feel like, why is it that this person doesn't want me, but I'm supposed to be in a whole relationship with this person? What's up with that? Like, for real, what's up with that? Like, how does that work? And so the situation for you Aquarius, the person doesn't want to be seen with you. They don't want to go out. They don't want to do anything, right? They just have their own thing. They got their own thing going on, or whatever the case may be. And so that's lame. So the situation with that is that the Six of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups represents a lot of you Aquarius understand that you're not going to take anyone seriously where it's like it's not a two-way street, right? Because a lot of people are out here trying to get you to agree to dysfunctional relationships to where you do everything. You do the intellectual work, you do the work, you do everything. You come home, you give this person part of your paycheck or a big part of your paycheck, and they spend it, they do whatever they want to do with it, they party, they go wild, and whatever the rent is, or if whatever, right? Whatever your circumstances is or are, you're supposed to figure out the living expenses, right? On your own. Never mind that you work 40, 50 hours, whatever hours. Never mind all of that. You're supposed to, right, 40, 80 hours or whatnot, depending on if you take up double shifts and all of that, right? They don't care about any of that. You're supposed to go ahead. Hold on a second. Let me just check. Okay, just making sure. But yeah, you're supposed to go ahead, fix all of that yourself. You're supposed to figure it out, all of that. You're not supposed to have any kind of say so in it. Nah, you know, you know, that's lame. And a lot of you Aquarius understand how that's lame, because do you really feel good? And that's a legitimate question I want you Aquarius to answer me in the comment section. Do you really feel good with a relationship like that? I'm sure a lot of you Aquarius have had relationships like that at least a few times, once or twice in your past. That's lame. You know, everybody wants to be wanted. Nobody wants to be feeling like they're in a relationship with a person and on paper, or the two of you specifically have agreed to be in a relationship, person don't want to initiate anything. They don't want to spend any kind of money on you. They don't want to do anything that relationships are, people in relationships with one another are supposed to do. They don't want to spend money on you. They don't want to get you a bite to eat. They don't want to initiate romantic fun. They don't want to talk to you. You barely hear from them. Like, what are we doing? I've been in them type of relationships before. Well, what is that? I wasn't in them very long. And obviously you could tell why. You feel me? And so the things that the Wheel of Fortune represents, so a lot of you Aquarius, again, you're breaking the cycle. You're getting out of the cycle of dysfunction, right? The circuitous cycle where it's like you got to deal with, it's essentially the same thing, right? Because a circle represents the number one, because there are no corners in a circle. So a circle is one. A circle is number one, right? In certain aspects, right? In certain aspects. A circle obviously can also be zero, right? Number zero. But the point that I'm trying to make here with that is that you're getting out of the cycle. You're getting out of like feeling small when you Aquarius enter into relationships. And that's another thing too, the aspect in which you Aquarius are expected to have no agency. You don't have the power to say no. You don't have the power to object. You don't have the power to, determine for yourselves what you Aquarius want to do. In relationships, you are expected to shut up, stay quiet, and just go the direction of where these people want you to go. And they're running the ship. You don't even have a say so, even though you're fronting the bill, paying for everything, thinking for two people, taking on the responsibility or the weight on your shoulders for two people, all of that. But then you don't even have a say in the matter. That's lame. And so the thing is that you're, like I said, you're getting out of that. The Ace of Pentacles and the Fool card here also represents, and a lot of people can't take it. The Fool card is about freedom. It's about liberation, which is what you have, right? And so the Ace of Pentacles and the Fool card is about what people offer you, right? What you can also offer to other people, but what also people offer to you. And if you Aquarius determine for yourself that it's not worth it, what it is that they're offering you, then you Aquarius don't care, and you shouldn't have to care, right? You feel me? Again, as a person speaking with a Saturn and Aquarius in the 11th house, and Saturn is the first ruler of Aquarius, and then it became Uranus, that was the second co-ruler of Aquarius simultaneously. As a person, you know what I'm saying? As a person who, have dated a lot of different people, right? A lot of different people and stuff like this, or at least try to get to know them, right? My body count is still 2, because the vast majority of them, come to find out, I didn't really like, and it wouldn't work because they're so busy playing games in the first place, right? They want everything, but I don't get anything. Until I started looking at it, and I'm like, no, I'm going to be in this connection. If I'm going to be in any kind of relationship, I have to benefit. It's not optional. The other person is going to benefit as well, of course, right? Let me go ahead and make that clear. But I have to benefit too, because it's way too much complaining from other people. It's way too much complaining, and so that's the thing that's going on. A lot of you Aquarius are not just agreeing to just anything for the ones of you who are single, and for the ones of you whom are in a relationship. Once again, you're covered, right? Like, why would you Aquarius decide to go back to the streets when you don't have to? These people are delusional. Some of them may try to make you a better offer than the person whom you're in a connection with right now. More than likely, you Aquarius who are in an established bond probably not even gonna go. You're probably looking at it like, you've been with this person for how long, right? You know what I'm saying? Commit infidelity to do what? Get this person that you've been in this connection or this relationship for so long to stop trusting you, to now it starts messing up your paper and everything else. Because let me explain something to you. Infidelity and all of that messes up your paper. A lot of times people, they think infidelity is a flex. You start being productive. You stop being productive. You stop having time on your hands to stay focused. You got to stay focused out here. You got to stay in the zone. You got to only feel your own energy. Keep your ears and your eyes open, but you got to be in the zone. You got to stay focused is the point that I'm making. This nonsense about slacking off, let me tell you, man. Let me tell y'all, you could sleep on a win and wake up. Shout outs to Conor McGregor for this. You could sleep on a win and wake up with a loss. You so concentrated on, well, I'm good. You slack off. You don't want to focus anymore, to the point where, let's clarify the fool card. You could slack off on a win and have things being so good and settled to the point where you end up making a mistake by sleeping. You know what I'm saying? Sleeping or nodding off or whatever, not being aware of what's really going on and thinking you got it and you're invincible. And then the next thing you know, you end up fumbling the bag because of the fact that you're not focused. You got to stay focused all the time. You know what I'm saying? Don't fumble the ball. What's wrong with you? Right? So you have the Eight of Wands, Scorpio energy, the Emperor, King of Pentacles, and then you have the Five of Cups. I will hold up the cards to clarify the Fool card. So the Eight of Wands, the Scorpio energy, and the Emperor, right, card represents how a lot of you, once again, a lot of you are really in a place in your life where, why is it that you Scorpios have to deal, you Aquarius. I'm thinking Scorpio because of the Scorpio energy. Sorry. So for you Aquarius don't, why is it that you Aquarius are not settling for not getting what you want? Is because you understand that it doesn't pay. It doesn't do anything. It's no benefit to you. It's not even truth be told, it's not even really a benefit to the other person. Because what is it a benefit? Is it to even the other person where you can't even be yourself, right? Right? Because a lot of you Aquarius too, also, you're a lot of fun when you're in relationships. It's not a dull moment. The person's mind is very much so entertained to where even when they're not even with you, they can sit back and look at it and think to themselves, I really like this Aquarius. This Aquarius keeps it funky. They really keep it nice and unpredictable. The relationship is spicy. I like this Aquarius. I know that's one of the reasons that draws me to y'all, and I don't mean it from the aspect of like only entertainment, like you're the court jester. I'm talking about the mind, how you keep it interesting and all of that. The level of creativity that a lot of y'all have to even manage to keep it interesting. And so the King of Pentacles and the Five of Cups here for you Aquarius also represents how, a lot of other people can think of themselves as being clever, but you're not going for it. You have to benefit. A lot of you Aquarius who are in an established bond, you already are benefiting. So why steer somewhere else? Why stray somewhere else? For you Aquarius who are single, you're focused. You're not going, a lot of your eyes have been open. A lot of you Aquarius not going to be in a relationship where you don't benefit. So that's it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel 200K. We're at 29,573 subscribers. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. Peace.